Martin is a virgin.
Smart, stupid stuff tonight. What are we doing tonight? I don't know what we're doing, but I know what you're doing is the right thing to do. You just have, if you're listening to this because you already have make a good decision, you just have click play on our podcast. Smart, stupid stuff. It's like a weekly upgrade to your mind. And then we're going to do the shout-outs now. Shout-outs.
We're going to sexually invade you in the brain. Woo. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Shout-outs to you guys for listening on the regular. Isaac. Dude, I found out you're listening. I appreciate it, man. You surprised me. You just told me you were listening. That's really awesome. Corey Harper, number 1 listener. Patricia, Evan, the silent killer. And Kimberly. New one. Tucci in the house today. He's a regular guest.
What's up, guys?
And we're about to get started. It's going to go down.
Let's do it.
What's up, dudes?
What's going on?
¿Cómo se llama?
¿Cómo se dice?
Impeachment, huh?
El impeachment.
Are you really going to talk about the impeachment?
I don't know.
what's going on.
I think that's what Martin was waiting for.
Wait, that grows on trees, right?
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm hoping for.
They
Grows
got
in trees
impeached
in
again.
Georgia.
I don't want to talk about that.
Well, how about this?
This is what he wants.
This is what he wants.
This is what he wants.
What he wants.
Get
You
my-
know, the campaign 2020 is coming up, so this is exactly what he wants.
Ah.
Everybody to be talking about him. His name is going to be put up there, and he's going to be put it again. And he got us. He got us. He got smart, stupid stuff. He got us.
Talking
really
about
good.
him. Damn.
He's good, man. He's fucking good. He's definitely a business.
You hate him,
man.
but he's good.
Who would have thought?
The orange nightmare.
Motherfucker. Here's my dream. I figured it out the other day. Galbi Cavern from Hawaii. Was it Tulsi Cavern?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Cavern. And Bernie as BP. Boom.
That was your dream?
I don't want to be whatever you're on, man.
I tell you something. If the Democratic Party picks fucking the BP of Obama, what's his name?
Joe Biden.
If Joe Biden gets picked, it just proves the whole system is fucked, and Trump absolutely 100% will win again. I guarantee
Man, what
you that.
fake news have you been reading recently?
I'm just
man.
saying, man. I've been on that. I've been on. You know, I'm woke.
He's woke.
Man.
I'm awake. Where have you been?
In the real world.
I got $100 put on Trump, man.
No, bro.
Not
so-
because I want him to win. Just because I think he's going to win. It's not because, this is the guy that I want him to be the president. It's just because I really think he's going to win again. So...
Look, I don't remember when... I mean, I think we're fairly young, but when the last time people were so busy with work and when the economy was so strong and everybody had work. Everybody had hours. Everybody had good salaries. They had bonus commissions and doing well. And that's, I think, what's really going to... That's what's on his side. Whether it was him or not, the point is...
People are stupid.
People don't want to miss out. They want to keep that going as long as they can. Tucci?
Here's what I think, man. Politics equal money, right? We'll agree that. That includes the Democrats and the Republicans. But now is the only time that now Democrats are like Bernie and Tulsi and are like not taking money from super PACs and doing things like that. And then you have like the Clintons actually sabotaging Tulsi and doing shit like that. Like the Democrats are like fighting against each other because there's people out there that are
I
super
think
woke.
Tulsi is sabotaging Tulsi.
Well, no, dude, but a lot of dude like she
sabotaging
was what did she do? Tell what do you think she did?
Well, she went on to the Democratic debate and said all Democrats are basically wrong. I mean, like, if you're a Democrat and you're trying to
Well,
find...
that's the problem, dude. That, like, if you don't agree with everything they said, then you're not in the group and you're fucked.
But she's, like, attacking the Democratic Party. I mean, if you're
way?
running to be the nominee of the Democratic Party...
How are you attacking this?
The first step is not to attack the party, right?
But no, but that's the problem exactly. You cannot run with independent ideas. You have to be part of the group. And if you get...
Can't you run as an independent?
Yeah, but you'll never win.
because you're not gaining the masses.
Okay, well,
because they don't.
No, you don't have enough money
that's
to
not a
support
true
yourself.
statement. I mean, Ross Perot ran in 1992, 1996.
And he won?
No, he didn't win, but he got like 30% of the vote, which is
It's extremely unlikely
So that was like a
to
new
not have
party?
the Democratic,
Wasn't
or the
Democratic
Republican.
or Republican.
no, he's independent.
Independent.
So I think the way people are changing, everything's evolving. That might actually work this time around. Before,
Well-
back in the day, it was too traditional. It wouldn't work. But nowadays, everybody's going away from traditional.
So I agree with that. So, like, for example, I know very little. I know very surface level. But Tulsi she's pro-military and pro-war
No, she's
in a way.
not.
To a certain level.
She's isolationist. She wants to get out of all foreign interventions.
But she tends to have some conservative ideas when it comes to that, right? Like she, for example, says that, yeah, we have a bad deal with China, and it's almost like right now you always just want to go against whatever is being said on the other side, right?
Yeah, I mean she's a weird like mix of foreign policy, like
Right.
extreme isolationist foreign policy, like supporting dictators' foreign policy type thing.
Well, that was the criticism because she met with some fucking people in like some other places, so immediately she got. But what I'm saying is, just hear me out. The Democrats didn't like that. A lot of it had to do with Hillary Clinton, which is sort of like an evil villain in his way. And she like got like, dude, she was on a podcast talking about like the day after the debate, her Google account got shut down. Period. And like Google won't tell her why.
Wow.
Well, so I know there's a lot of like Russian agents who are trying to like sow dissent in the Democratic Party by like amping up and supporting Tulsi Gabbard and like throwing all this fake news out there about her and all that. So it's, I mean, that's what they're trying to do, like intervene into the election just like they did in 2016 and all that. So,
But I don't know, man. Like I just think that like Biden, if the Democratic Party picks Biden, as it just shows that it's
but
all
you got
great.
against old people, man.
No, the dude is just like he came out against weed already. Dude, he's fucked.
Who did?
Biden.
Against?
Like, yeah, weed is bad. It's a gateway drug, is what he said. You fucked up, old man. You're fucked up.
Man,
I'm just saying. The only reason, if Biden gets the primary, Trump won. The only way Trump is not going to win, I'm going to predict it right here, is if Tulsi or Bernie get it.
what do you think about Mayor Pete?
I have no idea who the fuck that is. And most people are dumb like me.
That's the one who's gay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good. I think it's way too early to like make predictions
Dude,
like
I
that.
just-
Like,
I just want-
if Joe Biden comes on, we're all doomed.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
are. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, we are.
that's-
Dude, there's too much there to work with. The whole reason Trump is getting impeached is because he was trying to call out some shit that Biden potentially was involved, but maybe wasn't involved.
Okay, so what do y'all think about the actual like impeachment?
I don't even. All I know is that he is going to get impeached, but it's not going to matter, right?
Well, I mean, the Senate probably won't vote to remove him. I mean, definitely won't vote to remove him.
What do you think about it, Ron Beer?
I'm not very familiar with it. I mean, I think a lot of, from what we think is traditional impeachment, it's not like they're going to get out of office. Like, you can be impeached, but still be in office, right?
Yeah. Cause
So then it's like, what's the point? We're about to be up to elections here soon. I don't understand why so much energy and resources and time is going towards impeaching somebody if you're about to get the opportunity to elect somebody else.
Yeah, I mean that's like the big issue, and like if you look at it from the perspective of okay, are we just going to let them get away with it? Like I think that's the big thing, right? Because like if you just don't do anything at all, then that sets the precedent that future presidents can just do whatever the hell they want. You know?
I mean, how much money?
So what is the consequence of being impeached? Like, don't be able to be a president again?
So think of an impeachment kind of like an indictment, right? And
What's an indictment?
sorry, it's okay. So it's like it's the House of Representatives. So for anyone who doesn't know, Congress is split up into two branches, like they have, or two houses. They have the House of Representatives and the Senate. House of Representatives impeaches the president, and then the Senate removes them if they vote to. So like right now we're at the stage where the House of Representatives is drafting the articles of impeachment. They're probably going to impeach the president, which is kind of like an indictment in the judicial system, like the beginning of a legal action type thing. And they're going to send it over to the Senate for them to vote on whether to remove the president or not.
So let's say the Senate does vote to remove him. Mm-hmm. Does that mean they remove him from office?
Yep. But it's not going to happen.
Has that ever happened? Well, I don't know if
I thought it never happened, but then somebody told me that Clinton was impeached.
Yeah, I think there's...
And Nixon was impeached, right?
Clinton was impeached. He was not removed from office.
Right. So House of Representatives voted yes.
Uh-huh.
House of Senate declined to take him out of office.
Right. They declined to remove him.
So what's the point? I guess what's Elias said? What's really at the end of the day? What's it really matter if he's impeached or not? Yes, what you did was wrong, or things you did were wrong, and we're not going to let you get away with it.
The majority of the Senate is Republican, so they'll never vote him out. That's what they're saying.
And a lot of this is like they didn't want to vote him out because who did they have like strong enough so they can continue kind of running the country? Yeah,
your vice president, which he would step in, which I think that would be really interesting.
There was
if Pence was, if they impeached Trump and Mike Pence is running the show.
He calls his wife mother.
No.
Pence
does, yes.
What the fuck? Corey was making fun of it because apparently there's this girl on YouTube or Facebook going around like, let's impeach Trump, fuck Trump, impeach Trump. And then it's going out to like a bunch of like liberal people and going like, yeah, impeach him. And they're like, yeah. And then when they're like, yeah, they're like, Pence 2020. And they're like, oh, what? Because the guy's like psychotic, dude. He's like a uber conservative. Cuckoo.
Because you don't hear too much from Pence. He's kind of like in the background quietly, but you don't really know.
I think he's secretly hoping that Trump does get removed.
Probably.
Just so he can be president.
I mean, sometimes you see some of his facial expressions like, oh man, I gotta put up with this guy.
So
when is he gonna get out of here?
What's the scoop with him? He's just weird, right? He's just like uber conservative.
He's like this.
Why does he call his wife mother?
No, his mother.
He calls his wife mother.
He calls his wife mother. Yeah.
Mama, come suck my penis. What in the fuck would you say that? Mama?
It's his brand of evangelical Christianity. I mean, he's like super hardcore, like fundamentalist.
Well, I guess you can, if you got kids and the kids are saying, mommy, like that's her name, and you're like, all right, mommy, where, what are we doing, mommy?
No, it's not
that. It's not. That's not the case.
I don't think so.
Is it?
Mother? I'm not Mike Pence. I have no idea.
So you went and found out he called his wife mother, but you don't know.
I don't want to investigate any further. It just seems like a bad idea.
Where did you even see that?
Stupid knowledge. What should I even know this?
This sounds like some fake news,
taking
bro.
space on my brain for no reason.
We need to have like a Google search up at any given time, just
right here.
Research.
That's the plan, man. We're building up.
Building it up. We've got too many beers on the table.
Episode 2 in the new studio. Leche Studios is what we're calling it.
Yeah.
But I forgot our cables, so we're sharing mics. But we got cables. We got more cables than we did before, but we're still sharing mics.
It's working though.
Episode 2 is going to be calling your wife a mother.
Mama.
By Mike Pence.
Well, how many? I don't know if you ever got a girlfriend calling you papi.
Hey.
Like they call you papi.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, that's weird.
When did they call you papi?
Puerto Ricans would call you papi. Dominicans would call you papi.
Es que Martin's not used to that,
You like that?
Yeah.
I feel like.
What do you want to be quiet? Shh.
No, but like too loud, like yo, it's not that good. Like chill.
Nah, that's okay. Tell me what I want to hear.
Like the neighbors are listening to it. Mike Pence can hear this. It's never bothered you?
Never.
Wow. How about you, Elias?
No, like, how about somebody snoring? Sleeping and fucking snoring? You're like...
Yeah, that's
too
much. That's not good. What about you, Tucci?
A girl getting
no,
beat
sir.
for
Too
something
loud.
like that.
Does that concern you, them being too loud?
No, sir.
No, see? It bothers Martin.
It bothers me. It has, in the past. As a matter of fact, I would impeach a girl for that.
Well, the Senate needs to vote on that one.
Well, there's no Senate.
Oh, so you're a dictator
I'm
now.
a dictatorship.
So you don't have to impeach. You just need to make the call.
King of the castle. Oof. See how much better it sounds when I get close like this.
I can't tell.
Yeah, Martin didn't
I
bring.
don't have any headphones.
He didn't bring all the gear.
God damn it. Anyway, so Trump is getting reelected. Is what you guys are saying.
You know what?
What do you think
Look,
about that?
All right, who thinks he will be reelected? There's
I think
a
he's gonna
possibility.
get reelected.
I'm
So
dead
do I.
serious.
So do I.
I don't know.
Do you think he's going to be reelected?
No.
Yes or no?
There's a.
Do you think at this point he's going to be
It's,
reelected?
it's all going to be up to the Democratic Party to not tamper with what people want because they want to make sure that they can continue to control the money, right? So somebody like Tulsi, somebody like Bernie is not good for business.
No.
And they did it last time, and they're gonna do it again, and they're gonna get
Fucked it up.
and they're gonna get somebody that's gonna play ball, and that person that's gonna play ball is gonna fuck it because people are too informed right now. People can see through that shit, and that's what's happening. That's what's gonna come down to. That's why I'm thinking Tulsi. I even disregarded Tulsi myself because I heard, oh yeah, she talked to Assad or whatever, and then I realized later that was all shit that was put by the Democratic Party to like disqualify as a candidate. They want to get her off the ballot because she's not taking money from the super PACs. You know what that is, right?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to butcher a little bit, but a super PAC is essentially anonymous donors to your campaign. An individual donor, if you want to go donate to Tulsi because you like her, or Bernie or whatever, you can only donate what, like $5,000? Is it $5,000, $2,000?
Individual. I don't know what the individual.
It's like a limit.
It's like $2,500.
$2,500.
Really?
Right. But if you're donating to a super PAC, anonymous, you can donate infinite amounts. But these fucking people are gonna want something back.
So I thought they're anonymous.
Yeah, but they know.
Okay.
They have.
So super PACs are supposed to be like independent from the campaign. Like they're not supposed to coordinate with the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But they do.
Well, I mean,
Sure, if somebody's going to be
most
getting
likely,
money towards...
If you're giving $100,000, $2,000, $2 million, or whatever, you're gonna. Hey man, remember you're gonna play ball, right? So here's Bernie Sanders, one of the first ones to like say, "I'm running of individual donations." So people are giving him $1, $2, $3, and he's making a campaign. Tulsi's doing that now. And the Democratic Party does not necessarily like that shit.
All I'm going to tell you is the Russians are actively trying to prop up Tulsi Gabbard. Take with that what you will.
Why would you say that?
Because it's true.
You gotta say something. What else do you know?
What is the reason? Why are they doing that?
Because they see her as someone who is able to like motivate a small percentage of the Democratic base that it's very like vocal, very active, very, you know, they're gonna voice their opposition to a lot of things. And if they like press that button enough, then they know that it's gonna create a lot of dissent.
But you gotta admit that that's a wild conclusion. That's some sort of a conspiracy theory. Conclusion.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
Would you think that that's more likely than what I'm saying?
What if they're both very...
They're both very possible. So
here's my question though: what is it? How does Russia? Why would Russia put money and resources behind that?
I mean, because they're trying to like take our country down.
So they think that they get the Democrats or that small group of Democrats are kind of brainwashed.
They're trying to
how's the strategy
They're
work?
trying to sow discord and dissent within our political system. So like it's not just like Republican versus Democrat. It's within the Democratic Party too. And it's like information warfare. Just like the KGB did in the 80s and 90s. Like this is very sophisticated, like, you know, IT level warfare.
Right.
You know, it's like a Cold War with
behind the scenes
with Google and Facebook. You know?
Yeah.
So
why would you say that they see potential on Tulsi?
Because, well, one, they wouldn't mind if she was president, right? Because she's very isolationist. She doesn't want to provoke Russia.
So I heard her on the podcast, and she said that she's all about being diplomatic, right? So what she says, and I just listened to her, is that in the past, United States said, "I'm not gonna fuck with this country," and then they went and fuck with it. Like, what was that? I think it was Assad that they killed the president. Just a few weeks before that, they had done some.
Assad is still president.
Well, maybe the other. What was the other guy that they killed? That they literally killed, and there was video of him being like.
Oh, you're talking about Gaddafi.
Gaddafi. There was talks, and she says this is a huge problem, right? Because North Korea brought that up, and she said what Trump did was actually good, trying to get some discord with North Korea. And North Korea brought that up specifically, like, you guys want to talk, you want to have diplomatic talks, but then you go and do whatever the fuck you want anyways. Mm-hmm. So she says in the podcast, right, like, you know, she said there's like beef with the Clintons, and then they use that diplomacy that she did with Assad, because she did meet with Assad, and they use that to make her seem like an evil villain because she met with Assad. And, you know, it all makes sense. To me, like, the whole, like, I can see how somebody can get blackballed. So I'm very skeptical. I love Bernie. I love her. I think that they mean well, but I don't know.
I think they mean well. Sure, I think everybody means well.
Well,
you know, it's crazy. Like, looking at the big picture, say, like, every big empire organization crumbles from within, right? So, like, it's crazy how you're saying Russia's infiltrating on the back end, right, from the information side, and you see the diversity already with the Democratic Party, and then you're talking about them infiltrating a small group of that Democratic Party, and there is definitely being divided more and more. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I mean, you never know. Something little by little, it just starts dividing. Next thing you know, shit's like
Trump's reelected.
So how the Republicans managed to stay together?
Because, well, so
with Psycho Trump, they don't like him. They didn't like him originally. They
don't, but at the same time, like,
that's true though.
Trump had a lot of support from foreign influences, right? And that's ultimately what got him elected. Like, I firmly believe that.
Can you elaborate foreign influences?
Absolutely, like the disinformation campaign from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like what Russia did in the 2016 election, they're still doing it, but especially in 2016, was they knew all about our society and like what drives us apart, and like the biggest thing is race. Mm-hmm. You know, so like all the Black Lives Matter movement stuff, all of the Facebook memes about that frog, I forget his name, the green frog, Pepe the frog, yeah, all that, like all of like the white supremacist stuff that like amped up, you know, the right wing conservatives. They just kept pushing that button by throwing out all these memes on social media, all this disinformation, this fake news. I went on YouTube the other day, and there's this like news organization that's like, well, news in like quotes, that's like advertising on YouTube for like random videos, and they're. And in their ads, they're saying, guys, what CNN, what MSNBC, what Fox News is telling you is completely wrong. The real story here is that Hillary Clinton is trying to take down the United States by working with Ukraine. And, like, it's mind-blowing because it's, like, so fake.
So, yeah.
But it's, like, the production value is top-notch. And, like...
And then the consumer doesn't know the average consumer doesn't know what's right, what's not. So you're saying Russia is basically manipulating our country, getting Trump in office to divide the country more, to weaken the country.
Right.
And they know that. They know. I mean, they must have known like every candidate, and then say, okay, well, Trump is the best one to divide this country.
Right.
But before, Trump didn't seem so crazy.
Right.
I mean, how would they know that he would?
They didn't know. They had
that he would go to this. I mean, you hear him talk sometimes, man. It is. I'm just like you're baffled. Like, man, I can't believe this guy's like president. He's just very not presidential, traditional. You know.
I think.
How would they know that he would become? You know,
president.
He not become president. Let's say he manipulated and okay, he became president. How would they know that he would continue to divide the country more and more?
Oh, because he has a history of it. I mean, like, going all the way back to Obama's birth certificate. I mean, that's his brand, you know? So
yeah.
They knew all about this.
So Russia's thinking we get Trump in office, we divide the country, and then I guess what's next? They need to see who's.
Well, they didn't even think he would be elected. Like they threw all of their cards to helping him, but they didn't seriously think that he would get elected.
But he did. So now, what I guess what's the next step? In Russia, what would be their best strategy for them to go next?
Bro, you want me to tell you what I think? I think that Trump was like saw this as an economic opportunity. The Russians definitely helped him. He's had conversations with Putin. He's had conversations with them. He's getting hooked up. That's why he won't release his
honestly, I don't know if he had conversations with Russia. That's not important to me, though. What is important to me is that there is a campaign within the KGB, within Vladimir Putin, to take down this country.
Do you know how the Russian is doing? Like, we hear like, oh, Russian is trying to manipulate the people, manipulate who's going to be the president. Do we actually do the United States? Does they do something to Russia to divide their country and to fight back, or do they just?
I don't know if they. I don't know. I don't think they're trying to take over Russia. I think Russia. You're saying is trying to.
Bro, the U.S. tampering with other countries' elections. Absolutely.
Well,
CIA.
yes.
That's the whole CIA. That's what they do.
It's hard to do in Russia just because Vladimir Putin has such a vice grip on the country.
But they historically have done that.
But is U.S. in every country, and do they have spies all over the world? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's what keeps them
on the top.
I mean, you got the inside scoop on everybody.
Yeah.
That's,
so I mean, but it still doesn't make it right.
Say, like we've been so smart about it. Like the United States being so smart about like how to control this other country, but they're not being smart enough to keep his country secure enough.
Well, here's what happened, dude. I'm about to go deep. Here's what happened. You ready?
Get in deep.
They back in the 50s when they started coming up with campaigns to control people to vote one way or another. And they started creating things like pro or against guns, pro or against shit. Like they use those things that would get people hot
topics.
And it's been happening over and over and created this like fucking stupid voters. Right? And that's how they control them, like either one way or the other. And then here comes Donald Trump, the biggest scam artist ever, with the help of Russia, with the help of Cambridge Analytica, with all that shit. And then really exploited that shit that has been created over like years of dumbass voters. That's my thought. I mean, I just figured it out. You're welcome.
Out of bad generation.
How what do you think would be on the best outcome for Russia? What would they love to see the outcome with this election and the next few elections? I mean,
well, it's hard to say, but I mean, they definitely no candidate is going to be better for them than Donald Trump. Period, because no other candidate would create so much chaos. So they're going to do whatever they can to ensure that he stays in office, and that's the scary thing. And like, especially when you have half the country that doesn't even think this is going on. Like, what do you think Russia's doing? They're just like, you know what, guys, y'all have your elections. Like, we're not going to meddle in them at all.
So
you think Tulsi's part of this now?
I don't think she's actively So when I say Russia's meddling, I don't mean the candidates are colluding with them.
Right, it's above that. I mean,
So here's what I think: if they are meddling, having somebody like Tulsi or Bernie elected is gonna take their power away more. Because if somebody like I keep on forgetting his fucking name. What's his name? The BP.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden gets elected. They're gonna fucking run with it, bro. Because he did business with the Ukraine, whether it was malicious or not malicious. He did some business. Something was done, and they're gonna exploit the fuck out of it.
Joe Biden didn't. It was his son.
I know, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna run with that shit, and they're gonna run with the fact that he's against marijuana. That they're gonna run campaign on that like a motherfucker. Which is going to be big on the Democratic part.
I guess my whole thing with that is, like, if we're comparing, Donald Trump to Joe Biden, I don't think there's really much of a comparison there,
No, but I'm comparing what they did to Hillary. Okay, let's say Hillary is a saint, which to me, with nothing. Like, she looks like an evil woman. Period. Right? She has, and I think the Clintons have killed people. That dude didn't kill himself. I'm just saying.
Oh, this
they offed that motherfucker.
who was in jail.
Yeah, dude, the politics
dirty.
It's like that show, the pedophile, what is his name? God damn, I don't know anybody's name.
Epstein.
No, that show that was famous on Netflix.
You know how many people, kids, they have
House of
killed in the
Cards.
Middle East?
House of Cards.
Kevin
Have you seen House
Spacey,
of Cards?
yeah.
It shows like a dark side of politics, right? I think that to a certain level, that's the Clintons right there, right? Like, I only saw a few episodes, but they're like literally off people, dude. Like, anyways, right?
I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
But do you your opinion is a little conspiracy, even just as conspiracy as mine, right?
I don't. Is it?
I think so. But anyways,
I mean, do you really think Russia's not trying to?
Oh, absolutely. So if we go with yours or mine, is still. I think everything is happening. Everything we're talking about is happening. Russia's best interest is that we have instability in the country, right? That they benefit from that. There is absolutely 100% money into controlling policy, and there's a lot of money being injected. People that don't want to play ball, they want to blackball them, right? So people that are like genuinely trying to help, or have the impression to want to help, they immediately get like, oh, like something comes up, and then the media is controlled by money. So it's like, even as an individual, it's so hard to know. Thankfully, we have podcasts like this where we open people's...
Yeah, we keep them informed.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I even did it with Tulsi. I like Tulsi. I heard about her before. And then all of a sudden, actually, Corey asked me about it, and I was like, what about Tulsi? Because he leans conservative, but he liked her. So that's already a huge, awesome flag for me, because I'm seeing like people that I don't like Trump. She was in the military. People would look at things surface level. She was in the military. She loves the troops. She's an American. Blah blah blah. But she has like certain things that she's like very in the middle. So it appeals
to the masses,
to those conservatives that maybe don't love Trump, right? And she was a huge Bernie supporter. She left the Democratic. She was part of I think she was a super delegate. What, right? Mm-hmm. So the super delegates decide who is going to be the Democratic person. And when Bernie got fucked, they go by the majority.
There's delegates based off like the vote within each primary, and then there's the super delegates that are added to that. So it's like they don't decide. It's like the votes are they're allocated.
They could technically go. So like if all the Democrats get together and say who's going to be the guy, right? And the super delegates technically vote for whatever the most votes go, but they could technically vote otherwise,
right?
But for her, she was a super delegate, and when Bernie last election got fucked, she left. She's like, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore. She was a huge Bernie advocate, which already makes me like her. And then they blackball her like this, and Google shot her account.
Look, I was a Bernie supporter.
I know.
Early on.
But now you're a Biden supporter.
No, I'm not.
What the fuck
I'm not
is
a
wrong
Biden
with you?
supporter.
You're a Trump supporter.
I am an anti-Russia supporter.
Somebody get the hot. No, but I'm agreeing with you. Let's say that Russia is doing that. Giving him Biden would be like serving him a meal. Like Biden is way better than Trump, but Biden is going to have too much for them to work with.
Here's my point. I don't want us to get so angry at each other in the Democratic Party that we're just like having the wrong conversation.
Well, and I agree with you. So the only way that's not going to happen is for them not do shady shit.
Well,
because people are so aware of shady shit, and shady shit's already happening.
I mean, our shady shit compared to Donald Trump's shady shit, I'll take our shady shit every day and twice on Sunday.
But the Republicans don't seem to be bothered by it. The Democrats are aware of it. When Bernie got fucked, everybody was butthurt. And it divided the Democrats. Like, they fucked themselves. We fucked ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, the liberals fucked themselves. The Republicans are used to that shit. They don't give a fuck. They stay together. Like, okay, well, I guess we vote for this guy. I'm just saying.
And, I mean, sometimes politics is dirty.
I feel like if somebody ran independently...
I would love that.
I think there would be a lot more people that are sick and tired of, why do I have to be Democrat or Republican? There's some values I like on this party, some things I like on this other party, and it's like you can't like you can't be pro one thing and against something else and still be in a certain party. You have to be
Right.
classified in one specific party.
100%, but there's too much money into it, and when you're together, why is it impossible to run independent?
It's not. Right now, with all the technology, I don't think it's impossible.
You're right.
It's
Technology is
possible.
making a
It's
gap.
possible, but you're saying you're
most likely gonna lose.
You're most likely not going to win.
And all you're going to do is divide the Democratic vote. Because there's not going to be a Republican running independent.
I think younger Republicans may, depending on how much they like that independent candidate.
I can see like a young Nazi independent group running.
I mean, the other thing is like,
KKK.
We already have Trump.
You're like Trump. There you go.
the other thing is like people barely vote in this country. You know, it's like the percentage of the voter eligible, percentage of the population that actually votes
Oh, really?
is really low.
Wow.
I wonder how low.
It's like 20%.
20%
20%.
actually vote.
Yes.
God damn it, guys.
20% of the population vote?
20%
of the eligible.
Of the eligible.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure? That's insane.
I mean, yeah.
That seems ridiculously low.
It is very low. Like even by like traditional Western standards, like in England, I think because they're required to vote in certain countries, but I think in England it's like 50%.
Hey, let's think if you have your own country, like how will you run your own country?
Well, I
What
wouldn't
type
have
of
voting on a
party?
freaking Tuesday, you know.
You what?
I wouldn't have voting on a Tuesday. I think I'd have it on a Saturday or whatever.
Sunday.
You know.
Yeah.
Anybody wants a beer?
I'll take another one.
That I think it's so I was asking you, what do you think would be Russia, what would they like to see? But do you think that we would ever get do you think somebody would take over the country physically, like through warfare? Or would it I think it'd be more like technology or like behind the scenes and get the masses and you don't see it coming.
It's hard to say, like, in the modern age, just because, I don't think Russia has a need to take over the country, right? If they have the country doing whatever they want. Because, like, the only reason that they oppose the United States is to...
You guys fight for the IPA.
I'll take the PBR, it's fine.
The what?
PBR is fine.
So the only reason they oppose the United States currently is because we are actively, or we're supposed to be actively fighting against their interests in certain areas, right? So like Syria, for example. But if we take away that opposition, they have no purpose to, like, besides, like, I guess, invade our land and do that, but I don't think they have a need for that, you know? I think their need is just to get our opposition out of the way.
Right.
I'm willing to hear other opinions on that, but
Are you talking about Russia?
Yeah, I said, do you think we would ever be invaded again, like physically?
I'm more
Somebody
worried-
come and try to take
I'm more
the
worried
land.
about North Korea.
I don't think
As far as violent attacks,
I don't think that would happen. Like, it would take years to take over.
well, the thing with North Korea is, like, Kim Jong Un knows he will be destroyed if he.
they're developing nuclear power that we know now it reaches Hawaii and California.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not disputing that. But if, like, he fires a missile, there's
He's
going to
done.
be 100 coming to his country, and he's wiped out. I mean, like, so
Like it's suicide.
yeah, it'd be suicide.
But I see that happening more than with North Korea than Russia. I think so.
Well,
And I
that's
think that, and here's the other part that we don't hear a lot out of because it seems unpatriotic. But the United States does some fucked up shit around the world, like making deals and then bombing places. What happened in Iraq? What happens with oil? There's a huge thing with Venezuela. Venezuela, on the surface level, and most likely is correct, Maduro is this guy that's a communist or whatever, and he's fucking everybody over. But there was this reporter from Vice that doesn't work for Vice anymore that was saying that it's really not that. It's that the U.S. is setting it up to be that way because they want to, like, fuck that country over and take over the oil. So it makes you think, like, if you're really into conspiracies, like the United States, we're not saints,
right? We're not where we are because we're saints either.
And Russia is big enough to know that and to like. But obviously, I want to be alive. I want to be here. I want to be happy.
I mean, like, having held that same position where I'm like, I don't want any foreign intervention at all, type thing. Now I kind of get it. I mean, I understand why we're
where we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like, we would not be the country we are today. We would not have the safety we have today without that intervention. You know. So, like, I'm a little more forgiving about that. Now, obviously, like, the Iraq War was a mistake. You know, Afghanistan was a mistake. But our CIA, our FBI, like, having these covert operations overseas, like, I think that's critical to our national security.
Well, it just starts getting really iffy when you... All right, so we all heard 9/11 potentially being completely staged. Very much, probably not right? Mm-hmm. But how, like, just imagine if that came out to be true.
Oh, man.
That, bro, like, there's people that, I mean, there's conspiracy theorists that say, like, that was staged. So that means that somebody in the U.S. would have staged something that killed, like, a shit ton of people.
Of Americans.
To be able to make a move that is going to benefit everyone. Because, you know, that's what started the Iraq War. That's how they got over there. That's how they got oil, whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. But that idea, like, when the greater... Like, when people are making these decisions, right? And the intelligence agencies and the CIA are making... for the better of all of us, they're protecting us or whatever. Who's really making these decisions? And are they being made for the... I mean, it gets really iffy and weird and fucked up.
And it ain't the Republican and Democrats.
No. At that point, it's somebody else.
Way above that level, right? And that just goes to the whole conspiracy theories and...
Yeah, you can go...
Yeah, y'all are way more creative than I am.
But you're right.
I'm not making this up.
You're sacrificing a few for the many, right? For long term, for the big picture. But, I mean, it's messed up. It's easy to say, but if you lost a family member that day, I mean...
It wouldn't... Yeah. But you wonder, like, right, is it possible, right?
I think it's very possible.
Well, not only that, but bin Laden was trained by the CIA because it was trained to fight against the Russians. He was American educated.
Well, in terms of, like, warfare.
Yeah. Right. So, in a way, indirectly, we're creating this situation. Like, Obama, you know, I love Obama, but he took all the military out of Iraq... And it created this, it created ISIS, right? And all the hatred from that was created. So there's like not right or wrong reasons, but like intervention can also create like a lot of turmoil.
Well, I guess you have to kind of go back and see like, okay, what really caused ISIS? Was it Obama pulling the troops out, or was it George W. Bush sending the troops in? Like,
right.
So it's like, you know, there's blame to go around everywhere, but that was going to happen, I think, anyway, just because, like, if you go back to World War II, the Ottoman Empire, like, that whole region of the world was broken up artificially into Iraq, Iran, so forth. Those boundaries were never there before, and they're artificial. They split along ethnic lines. Like, of course there's going to be sectarian conflict, you know? It's like, think of it as like the United States, like Texas being combined with half of California.
Right.
That wouldn't go well.
So,
of course.
Those fucking hippies, man.
Especially Texas, California. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like progress is great and accumulating resources is great, but we haven't figured out as humanity how to manage this shit.
No, we never will. We never will, because humans are always looking for what's wrong. Right? You can have everything. You can be living in the hills and have everything you want, everything you need, and there's still something wrong. Mm-hmm. You still need more. You still need, and that's what drives us to, you know, be into land. You know, go to outer space and look for other planets and go to the moon, and that's part of our drive as humans, species. But also, we're never content. We're never. You know, that's why look how much we have right now, how much medicine we have, how much. This is like one of the best times to live. safety wise and medically wise. But then there's so much more anxiety and depression and mental illness now than before. And how many, like, I think they said, like, so many more kids are stressed now than people were in their, back in the day. And these are like young kids that are stressed. So
you don't think we'll ever figure this out?
Nah.
You don't think there'll be a utopia ever?
No way. Our minds won't allow that. Imagine everything's good. Everything's great.
Like 1,000 years from now. Unless society breaks down, though.
1,000 years from now, I mean, we're going to be dealing with lack of resources and who knows what. I mean,
well, we would have had to expand to other planets.
Even if everything's good on Earth, who
knows if the United States will still be around?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
This stuff changes pretty regularly.
Things evolve, man, and things change. And
yeah, how old is United States? Like 200 years old?
This country?
Yeah.
It's 250 roughly.
250.
Really?
That's like a couple of generations. Like
that's nothing. How crazy that this country is only 250 years old and it's where everybody wants to be.
I mean, think about Rome,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It came and went.
How long was Rome around? I don't know.
I mean, it depends on like which era you count.
Yeah, because you can talk about back when who killed the Romans were like 2,000 years ago.
And then you had Constantinople and like all this, the Holy Roman Empire. Mm-hmm. But is that really the same empire? Probably not. So
I don't know, man. That scares me.
It's a scary thought, but nothing's forever. Nothing's permanent, right? It's just like a cycle of life, and everything comes and goes. And
I should have never had any kids. Fuck.
Hey. You will come and you will go.
What happens?
I mean, it's all right. The point, I mean, and that's what I think why a lot of like anxiety, they say like a lot of anxiety is like everybody's concerned what's going to happen, right? And then some people are depressed because what happened in the past, they're still living in the past. But like right now, you're fine. Like right now, you're good.
Yeah.
And we don't do a timeout and say, look, right now, I'm fine. I don't have to think about what's going to happen in the election, what's going to happen in 10 years, what's going to happen when my daughter is 18. Right now, you're good.
Meditation is probably one of the best practices.
It's all about being in the present.
In the present
time.
Yeah,
work that in your daily schedule.
No bad.
That's right.
We worry about things that happened and things that are going to happen.
So happened in the past, depression. Too concerned about the future is anxiety, right? So is this deal going to go through? What are they going to say about this tomorrow? I'm concerned about, am I going to get my bonus? Right now, you're good. Bonus or no bonus, you're happy. You're good. You don't need anything right now.
Are you happy?
What is this mole?
What?
What does this mole mean? You know?
The mole?
Mole?
A mole?
Yeah.
M-O-L-E.
Where is it? In your
private
part?
I was using an example.
It's okay. The mole, let it be there.
Okay.
You're fine.
It's not malignant at all.
Yeah.
Should it be there in that area?
It's there.
On the tip?
I don't know about
Urgent
that
care.
one,
That's it. That's
maybe you need a little anxiety.
That's okay to be anxious about that.
That is when anxiety is okay. I was just using that as an example.
No,
Get
but
the mole check.
Even if the mole is there right now, you're good. Unless it itches a lot. Does it itch? Does it not itch? So I don't think we'll ever be there. I don't think we'll ever be everything figured out and everything's working good and it just our minds won't allow that.
Or if we did get there, we'll go fucking insane.
But there are better times than others,
This is one of the best times to be alive.
Right.
In history, yeah.
In history.
Bro,
so why is there so many mental illness, so much anxiety and depression? And I mean, you got more millionaires than ever before in history of time. You got people are living comfortably. Yes, you might be struggling. You might be living paycheck to paycheck, but hey, you got a paycheck coming. As long as you go to work.
You're not going to die. You're not going to starve.
There's no plagues going around that nobody can figure out.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with how much we work, Like, we don't have enough time to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And that's
part of a big system that I feel like is part of that bigger, keeping your citizens busy.
Right.
Right? And if and here accessibility, you have access to loans and to credit cards, and if you can't pay, it's okay. Get another job in the evening.
Right.
So you have two jobs, and people are busy working, and they don't really see what's happening 3,000, 30,000 feet up.
So that's very true.
Yeah.
So it's there's I mean it's kind of like keep the people busy.
Whereas like back in the 1700s, you know, when people weren't working that much,
Mm-hmm.
like they were happier because
Yeah.
they were able to tend to their land and
Yeah, I
raise
mean,
their
and there's
children.
something natural about working the land and connecting with Earth versus connecting to a monitor or a keyboard.
Well, not only that, but how do they get you to do it, right? How do they get you to go every day and not say fuck this shit?
Modern
right?
day slavery.
How do they do it though? So they give you responsibility, credit. They
Well,
give
you know what it is?
Two big loans.
They give you
They
exactly.
give you a house loan and they
So
give you a
They
car
allow
loan.
you.
That's how they control your life.
and student loans.
And students.
So that's part of it. The loans is a huge part of it, but it's more than that because it's the benefits.
Why do you get the loan? Because you have access in El Salvador and Argentina. I don't know, in Colombia, you can't just go get a loan at 20 years old to go buy a house. You know, the loans are just not available. Like the interest rate is definitely not like it is here. So now you say, all right, I can go. I'm 21 years old. I don't know if you get 20, but let's say, yeah, you're 21. You get a starter home, maybe a condo,
I
a little
still haven't
townhouse.
lost my virginity.
Yeah, Martin's still a virgin at 21, for the record.
Very
So-
stressful time in my life.
Yeah. So you can go buy a house, right?
To lose your virginity.
So the biggest, now you get a mortgage, over $1,000 a month mortgage. You have to get up and work now for that mortgage. You have to get up, like you said. What drives you to wake up every morning, to get up, to go to work, and to pay this mortgage off? Now, how do you get to work? Well, you got your peers, and you can't just be driving this rinky dink. You got to get a new vehicle.
Yeah.
So you go to the dealership. Guess what? I'm approved. They're gonna loan me the money to get this car. Now you get this car. Now you got $300, $400 car loan, and you got the $1,000 mortgage.
Oh,
Right.
I'm so blessed.
Man, things are great.
Bro, I just thought of something. When I was here, I moved here when I was 16. I didn't have papers. I was illegal, right? So no credit, no loans available.
Wait, you're legal now?
I am.
And he lost his virginity.
And I lost my virginity. Things
Here
are
in the
going.
United States, that's what
Things
we
are
do.
going well for me. But I worked at Braza for 4 or 5 years. I left like that. I didn't even think of it. I didn't have a car loan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any credit. It didn't stress me out. I left on a limb. No big deal. Right? No problem.
Can't do that now.
No, but so fast forward 2 years from then. Only 2 years from then, I got a job at Verizon.
Gray hairs.
Immediately, I got a cell phone plan. I had prepaid. I didn't even care. I remember you, Rambir, telling me like, "Yo, your phone doesn't work." I'm like, "I don't care." And like, like all of a sudden, I have a contract. I have a nicer phone. I'm getting 50% off. I have insurance. All these things. I get a car loan. We drove to see Hassan's brother to get a car. I got a car loan. I hate that fucking job, and I can't leave it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy, dude. Like, all these things are good, right? Because I'm getting a car. I'm getting more resources.
Consumerism.
No, and I'm living a better life, right? Before that, I had a shitty truck for years.
Are you living a better life? Because before you're working at Braza, you would go to work at 4 o'clock.
I was
you
more
leave at
free.
10 o'clock.
But I wasn't
You have the
going
whole
anywhere.
day.
Oh
Your whole
yeah,
morning.
if I dude, there was a point where my shifts got cut down to like 2 days a week.
Wow.
I sold my car to pay for rent one time. Didn't even stress me out like that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't remember how
Well,
stressed you were.
remember I went to that.
Right now we think about back in the time. Like, you didn't stress me out.
No,
I
no,
sold my bike. If I have to sell my bike, I would be like,
No.
shit, I gotta sell my bike.
No,
The
I'm
good
telling
old
you,
times.
It stressed me out, but it didn't. It was different.
Yeah.
Because I went to that Michigan. I went to a wedding in Michigan that put me back.
The famous
And
wedding.
and then the manager at the time didn't want to give me shifts because I didn't want to work mornings. I ended up fixing it, but like, dude, I was working like 2 days a week. I was like really low on cash flow. It was stressful. I wasn't like, yeah, I sold my car like right now.
It wasn't like you can't sleep at night
right,
type of stress.
right. It was just like, what the fuck, like.
But now
I
Nelly's
guess,
taking
It's
care
the
Hey.
rat race, man. It's the rat
hey,
race.
Francisco, put out one of those meats in aluminum foil because I don't have money for food.
Ay, calmate.
I'm serious, dude. Like, he would like put it in the back of my truck. I'm not kidding, dude. But anyways, It wasn't that bad, and I still. But like, yeah, it's something about the benefits and the insurance and the stability that all of a sudden it makes you give. Dude, companies aren't giving you benefits because they care about you.
Mm-mm.
Man, talking about that, I just got myself a plan for health insurance.
Oh, shoot.
First time in my life.
Get out of it.
What's
Get out of
your
it right now.
deductible?
I'm just
Huh?
kidding.
What's your deductible?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know.
We're not that long. Come on. We just got it, man. One step at a time.
I know I pay $110. I get dental,
Oh, man.
eye vision, and they send me a location.
That's
for a place
cheap.
where I can go.
That's pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
cheap.
110.
Not bad.
You-
Let me talk to your
Well, you're a
people.
healthy man.
Oh, okay. The deductible. If it's something major, like
Yeah.
Like a
it's
mole.
gonna be like $1,500
Okay.
out of my pocket,
Yeah.
and then they will cover the rest.
So that's
On
not
dentist, I will
terrible.
pay $40 each visit, and they will cover the rest.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
that will be the deductible.
That's not terrible. I mean, I've heard of like $5,000 deductibles, and
Yeah.
that's like
My deductible at my company is $3,000.
But how much you pay a
for
month?
Both.
How much you pay?
It's like $120 a month
It's cheap, man. I don't know.
for me, the wife, and the baby. So it's not
Well,
bad.
how many kids?
But
You have two.
Two
right?
kids.
Two. Yeah.
But
So-
once you get to 3,000, go crazy.
Man, this is my
What do you
first
mean?
time having this, man. I'm
It's all
going to the
covered.
dentist next month. My first time having
I
this.
haven't
I'm
been
definitely
First time going to the dentist?
No, first time getting a...
Oh, I was like, what?
On a health
First
plan.
time-
Dude, I haven't been to the dentist since I moved to the U.S.
I
Not
can
one
tell,
time.
man.
Dude, you got to pay out of pocket.
Is it me? You
Martin,
got bad breath?
You need to go to the dentist, bro.
I
Yeah.
know, bro.
Like, that's a modern perk.
Dude,
You
if I
know?
gotta get anything checked out, it's whatever is happening in my butthole, okay?
You
Yeah,
mean
you
the
might do
hemorrhoids?
That's been... that upset around beer for a second. I can
Have,
see
have
it.
they
It's
been
fake.
bleeding recently?
Yes. It's uncomfortable.
Is it a steady flow?
Yo, did I tell you? I finally built the courage to go to the. So this motherfucker, dude, it's not okay. I finally built the courage to go to the
I
to
think
the
they have
doctor,
baths for that, you know?
and I'm like, I've had a problem for a while. I think it's a pretty common problem. Most men have it. Look at me. It's happening. I finally built the courage, and this guy that worked with me, he's like, yeah, the doctor's going to look in there, whatever. Right? And I'm like, dude, I don't want the doctor to look in there. He's like, he's going to look in there. He's going to give you a cream. You're good to go. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to do that. And I go to the doctor every 3 months anyways.
Why
Right?
so much?
Because a prescription I have.
Oh, okay.
And
So that's a lot of physicals.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
had it once a year. He goes every quarter.
I haven't had
Q2.
I finally built the courage to say, like, yo, I want you to check out
My anus.
my aunt. No, I said, like, hey, by the way, I have... and this guy gets visibly upset. And it's like...
They didn't train him for that. in
First thing he
medical
said is
school.
like, look, man, it's not going to get better if you don't change your diet, okay? And I can prescribe your cream, but it's not going to get better. Like, he's not like... And he didn't ask to look at it. It kind of hurt my...
It was not me because there's nothing...
I mean, I'm assuming so, but I changed doctors. You know, it was just
Good.
it's a matter of principle there. Like, at
Maybe
least
get
take
another check.
at least take a gander. You know,
Take a gander.
what's going on?
Who are you, man? Colombian says, take a gander. I don't even know you anymore, man.
Like, Mary's a white woman, and this is what comes out of his mouth. Like, wow.
Come on, Doc. Take a gander, will ya?
Take a quick peek in there. Let's see what's going on. You know, I build it up.
So
I
what
cleaned
happened
up.
when they took a gander?
They did. They never did. They
He
never,
never did. He felt
So-
cheated.
I got
So
the
you
cream.
might have anal cancer, and we just don't know.
Dude, don't even say.
Hey,
I honestly
prostate
think.
cancer. Oh, man.
Don't bring this shit up.
Damn,
Don't
man.
bring that juju on me. Maybe.
Man, you should have got that checked out, dude.
I
Change your
know.
diet. What does that mean? You must have had a deep conversation.
I know.
Because
I
he's
know.
reminding you, he's like, Martine, I told you, change your diet.
No, I know that what went through this guy's mind, dude. He was a young man, a young Indian man, very muscular, very well put together, and he
And?
wasn't trying to look at an asshole that day.
Dude, he's a doctor. What do you mean? He
I'm
looks at all
telling you,
kinds
he
of-
was
all,
not ready
all kinds
for
of
it.
parts of your body.
He was not ready.
If
I
he's
was
not
there,
ready, if he's not ready, who's ready?
I was there for my.
The neighbor.
If Dr. Patel is not ready, who is ready?
I was there for my prescription refilled, He looked at the schedule that day and he said, "I got a prescription refill. I got a foot issue. I got a rash." He did not read. I'm gonna check out. He didn't see. He did not see that. And
he didn't see that one coming.
He was visibly upset.
He probably just had lunch.
I should have.
That's why he's pissed. He's like, man, I just had Chipotle. And you asked me to check your anus. Fuck.
I'm not doing
Change
it.
your diet, will you?
I'm not doing it. Fuck this.
You already know it's not covered with insurance.
No wonder he was pissed. I'd be pissed too.
I'm telling you, bro. This was crazy. Very unprofessional.
Oh, yeah.
So what kind of cream did they give you?
Can I get some?
For the listeners, man.
It feels
Hey.
good.
That was probably enough for your eyeball, man.
There's more to it. The cream feels great, but I think there's more to it.
More lubrication.
For you listeners, I want you to go to the website. I want you to tell me if you had this happen to you before. And I want you to tell me if they took a gander. Taking polls. Was I cheated? Thanks, Obama. Oh, man.
Oh, God. How do we get talking about the gander and the anus?
How do we not?
I thought we were talking about conspiracy theories and
Shit,
the rat race.
Things took a wrong turn.
Man, see? Too much time on his hands. Yeah, man.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have Trump for another 4 years. This was going to fucking happen.
Dude, I think it's going to happen.
I'm just going to mentally prepare myself for that. And I called it the first time. I said Trump is going to get elected. Tucci's knowing all shit. He knows it all because, he knows so much. He knows everything.
Right.
He knows it all.
I
mean, he's got a big-ass head for a reason.
And he's something's going on in there.
And he
you
said,
don't have to, praise me that much, man. You know?
All right. Trump gets reelected. Worst case scenario. What should we all be concerned about?
I don't know.
Everybody's concerned about war. Nobody wants to go to war. But everybody wants a great economy. So he's going to piss some more people off. So I guess my question is, what is the big concern? Everybody continues to be more and more divided, for sure. But what should the country be concerned about? The economy continues to be on the rise. I mean, eventually, it can't be like this forever either.
I'm telling you what I'm worried about. He's volatile. He's not diplomatic. He obviously is not getting the right people to tell him what to do.
Okay, so what's the outcome going to be?
The outcome is going to be pissing somebody off to the point of
war.
Doing something really stupid because of ego that affects us all. That's what I'm worried about. Which I wanted to ask Tucci as our political advisor because we talked about this before.
You're making me blush.
Whatever.
You've been upgraded.
Yeah, you've been upgraded from guest to political advisor.
Damn. I didn't get a vote on that.
Oh my God.
I would have voted yes. Elias?
Definitely.
You got it, man. Congrats.
You've been promoted.
Cheers. Salud.
Our political
advisor. We got 3 yeses.
Political correspondence. North Korea said, be ready for a Christmas gift. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? We talked about this last podcast, but none of us knew what the fuck to make out of it. I'm interested to see what you think that is.
Well, he made a similar threat. Kim Jong-un made a similar threat, I think a couple of years ago, 2017, I think, where he said, I'm going to send America a gift or whatever. Meaning a nuclear bomb.
Is that what the fucking guy mean?
Yeah,
I was wondering what he meant.
I don't think he's talking about a Vitamix.
Yeah, he's not sending us a Christmas card.
With his family, a calendar for the year. Kim Jong-un, if you're listening.
But, I mean, this dude is not going to bomb it. Can you imagine a tiny country like North Korea sending a nuclear bomb to America. Like,
Yes.
I can't.
I mean, it would fucking kill.
we don't. I don't think so. After what happened in 2001, I don't think so. We need to get bombed. I think we can kill ourselves pretty good.
With what?
After what happened in 9/11.
Oh,
Like, do we really need someone in from the
Right.
outside?
Yeah.
We do our own.
But see, the thing is, nuclear. That's just a whole nother level, right?
Yeah, and I was checking the scales of the, like what happened in Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Like the size of those bombs, they're not compared to
what?
the nuclear bombs that they have now.
No.
Like they would take, I don't know, that one was probably 20 miles radius or 5 miles radius. I don't know. But right now they have something that can actually destroy the whole city, like a huge city.
I mean, I think we got enough nuclear. Everybody has enough combined, enough to blow the whole world. I mean,
That's what's
Earth.
keeping the world in peace. Like they have nuclear bombs, we have nuclear bombs. If something goes wrong, we all gonna die.
Exactly. It doesn't
let's
make
just
any
keep
sense.
calm. They say Cuba. Also, Cuba has nuclear bombs.
Cuba.
great.
Well, they
Like-
got them from Russia, but
That they do have nuclear bombs, and they're like super close to the United States. They probably be from the 86, maybe 70 nuclear bombs. They're probably old, and then they probably won't turn on. I don't know how that works, but
yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
know.
I want to be like right where it fucking falls. Like I want it to fall on my fucking head
And be done.
and just be done. I don't want to be the guy that's like fucking twitching a little bit
you
or
don't want
like
to be the
there's
guy
not
that
like.
survives.
So wait, how's that any different than right now? Like,
Bro, I tell you something. Yellowstone. Okay? Super motherfucking volcano. We don't even need
Wait.
other countries.
are we talking about your anus again? Like,
Yellowstone.
Dude, Yellowstone National Park is a super
Live.
volcano that has gone off before. And it's been 600,000 years since it has gone off. And it's due to go off. And
Yeah,
when
but
it
how
does
far-
go off,
how
we're
far is
fucking
that-
dead.
That's not going to be all over the. It's going to be the
No,
immediate
dude,
area.
the continent is gone.
maybe we should take a gander in.
Yeah, we should take a gander at that
We need
one.
to go in there and investigate.
Hey,
I'm saying,
I said this last time. Meteors, right?
yeah, we're
Come-
dead.
I mean, that's something that we're not. I mean, I don't know how much globally we're looking at protecting our. Yeah, I don't know, man. That could be coming.
So you start thinking about it and just like, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Fuck it is right.
No, it's not fucking right. I mean,
Well,
there's ways to. I mean, I don't know what shit. If we can land up and we can fly, I mean, I'm sure there's ways to protect ourselves from the sky too. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if all the resources are going there.
Well, the problem is there's a whole bunch of space junk up there right now. And
That's
like,
another thing.
Yeah.
Space
We're
junk.
freaking polluting the freaking space now. Polluted our lands, our freaking oceans, and now we're polluting the space.
What?
I mean, think about how much shit is out there, right?
Yeah.
And that's worse. Like, you don't know when that's going to come down.
Well, and that's traveling at like 20,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So if even like a speck of sand hits you, you're dead.
Done.
You are dead.
And we got how much?
Wait, what's traveling 20,000 miles an hour? The satellites?
Everything.
Everything that's up in space. We're just putting it up in space. Throwing shit up in space. That what? I mean,
Damn.
Like imagine the energy of a
Right.
speck of dust traveling at 20,000 miles an hour. That's gonna kill you
It's
instantly.
gonna go probably right through you.
I don't think that's a
It goes on the other side.
right through your
concern, though.
Yellowstone.
I'm just saying. No, seriously, that super volcano, it's gone off every 600,000 years.
600.
And it's already been enough.
600,000 years.
And it's already been that long since
So it's due.
it's due for blowing the fuck up.
How would they know?
Do they make a cream for that?
Motherfucker, I don't know. How do they know? I don't know.
You probably have to get some
I mean, we're-
protection.
They know.
Did they log it the first time and now the second time and now it's due for the
But
next?
the good thing is, like, I think we're the farthest away
science.
we can be in the United
Science.
States.
There you go.
We're the farthest away we can be from the United States. Like, we are on the other side.
From the United States?
Yeah, inside
the-
the United States. I think
we're on
we're the
the-
farthest apart,
From
right?
Yellowstone.
From Yellowstone. Yeah, we're like.
I think we're done anyways. If that shit goes out, we're done.
The volcano?
The Yellowstone.
That means a volcano would have to travel from.
Yeah, it's huge. The whole continent would be gone.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I just think like a volcano is kind of like peaceful, comes out slow, and eventually like you're like running, it's just,
Nah,
It may be explosive in the beginning, but I don't think it's going to cover the whole continent.
That's where we need
Bro, you
to.
probably gotta throw like an atomic bomb over there on the freaking volcano.
yeah, but what about
Make it happen before it happens.
There you
Surprise
go.
the volcano
Let's melt
instead of us being surprised by the volcano.
Let's melt the volcano.
Let's melt it.
and everything
You know
around
they
it.
did this happened. I don't know which year happened, but they actually throw in a bomb like on a hurricane. They actually did that. It was coming to Florida, and they throw a bomb in the middle
of the hurricane,
and then that make it worse. It made it worse. It made it chew.
Oh,
And one went to the
gosh.
one side and another one to that side. That happened probably on the 80s, on the 70s, I think. You can search it up. That's on YouTube.
What?
I never heard of that. But.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's the only way. I mean, you got to try, and it didn't
Yeah,
work.
just
Okay,
see what
oops.
happens. Like, it's just throw it
Trial
home right in the
and
middle.
error.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made chew. Crazy story.
I try to look it up. I don't know.
What?
Yellowstone's volcano.
So
This volcano is really stressing Martina.
Yellowstone volcano, bro.
Anxiety's kicking in.
Anxiety.
You're fine right now, man.
It's gonna
You're
blow
good.
up.
You're good.
Here's the thing. Let's say it doesn't reach us. Do you want to be the people that stay alive after that shit? We're gonna be eating other people.
A volcano or
Eating
atomic
other
bomb?
People?
Yo,
What are you talking
Are you
about?
a cannibal?
let's say
What the hell?
let's say Yellowstone goes down,
Who am I
right?
having a podcast with right now?
I'm just saying
Yeah,
that would be an apocalyptic event, right? Like there would be like so many people dead, the whole country would shut down. You're gonna be like,
People eating each other.
yeah,
I
most
really
likely.
think Martine's waiting for an opportunity.
People will be
To
like,
eat somebody.
people will be eating each other, 69ing each other for food. What? It would not be good. It would not be good.
Oh man!
I just can't wait for us to just expand to other countries.
But if you start thinking about like how everything got destroyed, like the Egyptians, like
Yeah.
they eventually disappeared. The Romans, they eventually disappeared. Like the Aztecas, they eventually disappeared. Like the Americans, they eventually disappeared. Like eventually, like something is gonna come to an end, and a new civilization is gonna freaking form. And if probably the next civilization is gonna be formed after nuclear bombs, like who knows?
That's sad to think that.
Well, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. I feel like I'm gonna live, my kids are gonna live. Probably it's gonna happen like 200, 300 years from now. Like the volcano, I don't think that thing is gonna, do eruption anytime soon. Like,
You don't know that. It might happen
well, if it
tomorrow.
happens.
Look, if the volcano erupted, it would be 2/3 of U.S. and North Carolina would not be hit. That's for sure.
You looked it up?
We're in the right place.
Yeah.
It says North Carolina is good.
North Carolina is good to go.
It doesn't show a map.
California looks actually pretty good
California's good.
by
huh?
the coast. Yeah.
Really?
Dang.
Oh my god, it would take a huge.
Yeah.
I tell you, we're good, man. Just by thinking
We're good,
about
man.
it, like, we're so far away.
So let me ask y'all this: why are there two Dakotas?
North Dakota, South Dakota.
Fuck it.
North side and the south side.
Well, there's South Carolina and North Carolina.
That's right.
There's
Why is
like,
North Carolina?
but there's like 5 people. In
Why is there 2 Texas? North Texas, South and South Texas.
Is there?
But they
There's
don't
4
have-
Texas. So East Texas, West Texas.
But that's like informal.
I feel like you're
making
that up.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm from
We got
West
North
Texas.
Raleigh, South Raleigh.
That's
West
true.
Raleigh.
You're right.
Look,
South
all
side
I'm
of
saying
Chicago.
All I'm saying, North Dakota, South Dakota, they have 4 senators together. We have 2.
Absolutely.
Why?
Let's split up.
Let's split up so we can unite.
All right, man. Here's what we're gonna close this podcast out because it's time. Okay.
About that time.
I want a prediction, and we're gonna put it on the record. Is Trump gonna get reelected? Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. You're putting all your money on it.
I'm putting my money on that. I'm not. Yeah.
Elias,
I already did put my money on it.
he's getting it. Tucci, what do you think? political advisor. This is gonna hold up. We're gonna check on this.
This is not about what you.
This is not what you want. This is
Robin?
what do you think will happen?
What do you think?
No.
And I say no. 2 yeses
Down the
and 2
middle.
no. Here it is, guys.
You guys make the
What'd
final
you say?
decision.
Find us
What do you say?
on our website, which we don't have.
Yeah, we got social media,
Find us on Instagram.
Instagram, IG worthy.
Instagram, you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on the description instead of saying it out loud. You're not going to fucking write it down. You're riding your car. You're scratching your nuts. You're picking your nose.
Just
If you're
click on the
listening.
link
Checking
below.
on Yellowstone.
Checking Yellowstone. I'm going to put it on the description of the podcast.
Take a gander one time.
The Instagram. Put it in there. Say something. Don't be weird. You're being weird.
You guys heard it
On
live
that
and direct.
On that note,
Smart,
talk to your
stupid stuff.
physicians.
That's it.
Get them to
Take a
look.
gander.
Bye-bye.